Hi, my name is Sylvie. I help women look great and feel great through fasting and whole food nutrition. On this channel, you'll find simple recipes and practical tips that will transform your health. The best part is you won't feel overwhelmed or deprived. Today's video is all about the Prolon soup recipes for the fasting mimicking diet. As you may know, I have been loving the fasting mimicking diet for its anti-aging benefits and its weight loss benefits. And I have done it all kinds of different ways. I have done all kinds of recipes and meal plans. I have many videos sharing all of that with you. I thought it would be interesting today to try to come up with some of the recipes that are included in the Prolon kit. And in the Prolon kit, you have 5 different kinds of soups. And so what I did for this video is to create soup recipes that follow the macronutrient ratios and the number of calories per serving as closely as possible. As I share each recipe, I'll show you the original Prolon soup and all the nutritional information for that compared to my homemade version. There's a couple of things that you will notice with my homemade version. Number one, some of them have a little bit more fat, and I believe that is not a problem because having a little bit more healthy fat into your meal is not gonna cause any harm. On the contrary, I talk about that in my video, the easiest and simplest way ever to do the fasting mimicking diet. And I share how my favorite way to do the fasting mimicking diet is to make a large salad and to have a lot of healthy fat in my salad, because it will not only help sustain autophagy further, but it will also keep you full and satisfied longer. So that's my perspective on that. But if you want to follow the macronutrient ratio even more closely, you could always modify my recipe a tiny bit, put a little bit less olive oil and a little bit more vegetables. It's your choice. Another thing that you will see is that each soup recipe comes up to about 120 to 130 calories per serving. That is obviously a very low number of calories, and it's because in the context of the Prolon kit, you eat a lot of other foods to reach that 800 calories a day. If you were to do the fasting mimicking diet yourself and use these soup recipes as your basis, you could always eat the whole amount, and that would come up to, maybe 500, 600 calories for that big bowl of soup. And then you could add a few things to reach your 800 calories. So that's an option. If you make the 4 servings and you end up eating only one because you want to stick to the 120, 130 calories, you can always share the rest of the soup with the rest of your family. Just keep in mind that although it says 4 servings, they are really small servings, just 120 calories. And so you need to take that into consideration when you make your soups. And if you are going to be using soup for each day, so have all of the 5 soups, use them for the 5 days of the fasting mimicking diet. You may want to make them all the weekend before or something, and then you have them all ready to go and you start your fasting mimicking diet on Monday. That would be a very convenient way to go about it. So that's it for all my advice. Let's get started with the recipes. Number 1, we have the white bean and spinach soup. The Prolon version has 110 calories. And as you can see here, it has 2 grams of fat, 21 grams of carbohydrate, and 5 grams of protein. My homemade version has 2 grams of fat, 20 grams of carbohydrates, and 4 grams of protein. And one thing that you'll notice, all these recipes, as I mentioned already, they come as close as possible as far as the macronutrient ratio goes and the number of calories, but they always have a lot more vitamins and minerals. That's one of the advantages of making your soup at home. Fresh foods, whole foods are always superior than buying the prepared versions. So enjoy that. To make this recipe, you will saute half an onion, 1 celery rib, and 1 clove of garlic in 1 tablespoon of olive oil until translucent. Then you will add 1 cup of navy beans, 1.5 cups of cooked brown rice, and you will cover with water. I find that most of the recipes you need about 4 cups of water to have a nice consistent soup. Then you will add the spinach and let it cook until wilted. You'll season to taste. In each recipe, you just put as much salt as you like. So you'll season that to taste and serve. Number 2, we have the mushroom soup. The Prolon mushroom soup has 120 calories, 2 grams of fat, 22 grams of carbohydrate, and 3 grams of protein. My homemade version has 121 calories, 6 grams of fat. This is what I meant here when I was talking about my soups having a little bit more fat, and 16 grams of carbohydrate. Saute 1.5 cups of onions in 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil until translucent. Add 4 small chopped carrots, 6 cups of sliced mushrooms. Cooked until the mushrooms are nice and golden. Add your water and let simmer until the carrots are tender. Season to taste and serve. Number 3, we have our butternut squash and quinoa soup. The Prolon version has 120 calories, 2.5 grams of fat, 24 grams of carbohydrate, and 3 grams of protein. My homemade version has 120 calories, 4 grams of fat, 80 grams of carbohydrate, and 3 grams of protein. Saute 1 diced onion in 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Add your garlic and saute a little longer. Add the butternut squash and enough water to cover the vegetables. Simmer until the butternut squash is cooked. Add 1/3 cup of cooked quinoa and season to taste. Number 4, we have the vegetable soup blend. The Prolon version has 120 calories per serving, 2 grams of fat, 24 grams of carbohydrate, 2 grams of protein. My homemade version has 119 calories, 4 grams of fat, 20 grams of carbohydrate, and 3 grams of protein. You're going to saute 2 cups of diced onion in 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Add 3 cups of diced tomatoes and 2.5 cups of shredded carrots. Add enough water to cover the vegetables. Simmer until the vegetables are tender. Add the spinach and simmer until your spinach is wilted, and then season to taste. The Minestrone soup blend. The Prolon version has 130 calories, 2 grams of fat, 25 grams of carbohydrate, and 3 grams of protein. My homemade version has 133 calories, 3 grams of fat, 29 grams of carbohydrate, and 7 grams of protein. For this recipe, you will saute 1 cup of diced onion in 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil. Then you will add 1 white diced potato, 1 cup of sliced carrots, and 1 cup of diced celeriac to the onion and cook that for a few minutes. Then add enough water to cover the vegetables. Simmer until the vegetables are tender. And then you can add 1 cup of pinto beans and 3 cups of sliced cabbage and season that to taste. Here you go. That's all for the recipes. Let me know if you are going to try any of these Prolon inspired fasting mimicking diet soup recipes. Let me know if you enjoyed them, And if you modify them in any way, I'd be curious to hear what you have to share. Thanks for watching.